Hi, it's Courtney Dade, CEO of CSD Marketing and Consulting. It's Thursday night, so it's time for another session of Under the Crown. Under the Crown is an opportunity for me as a business owner for the past 10 years, a business and marketing specialist for the past 20 years, and a brand new agency owner for the past 7 months to connect with my people and see how you're doing. Also share some things going on in my world and my business, things going on with clients, and hopefully provide some insight or support to you in your business adventures and things that are going on in your world. Today I am going to talk about, it's actually a continuation, I believe, from last week, about our new campaign we're calling Reconnect. And the reason we're calling it Reconnect is because after the world's been, everybody's been separated for so long, we're all finally coming together. We're interacting with people. I feel like crime rates are going up. And we're, having person to person interactions. And so for many people, it's time to reemerge like a butterfly and reintroduce yourself to the world. I also know that for me, both personally and professionally, so many things have changed over this past year that I really do have to come back out and reintroduce people to the new version, the CSD Marketing 2.0 and the Courtney Dade. Shoot, I feel like I have to reinvent myself all the time. I ran out of numbers. But anyway, to that point, we've come up with a 3-step process that we walk our clients through. But it's also really helpful to just do in general, as far as even if you're launching or relaunching your personal brand. And so we're encompassing this and talking about this over this quarter. And so the 3 steps are review, rebrand, and reintroduce. So it's like a nice little trip out there until you do your hey, I'm here, I'm coming out party. And so today I wanted to dive in a little bit about the review part of it. You can hear some screaming in the background because it's summer, and I love that even though it's evening, it's still nice and bright and some sunshine still out there. It's not even close to sunset. So the kids are out playing outside, screaming in the background. But anyway, so the things that you should think about when it's time to review. What do I review, Courtney? What am I supposed to be looking at? What the heck are you talking about? I got you. Don't worry, I got this. So in the review process, what I'm talking about is really reevaluating or evaluating and assessing where you are in your business, in your life, in your brand, and making sure that you're communicating what you want to the world and the audience at large. So some of the things that you'll want to ask yourself is, where am I compared to where I want to be? And that's really going to be important for you as you set goals to get to your final destination. You don't know if you're almost at your goal or not if you don't stop every once in a while and assess to see how far you've come. And so that's one of the most important, and I would say the first question that you should ask yourself. The other thing that I would ask, especially like I said, coming out of this pandemic and just so many changes have happened in the world around you, is, are you communicating with your customer, or are you communicating with your network in the way that's the most authentic but also most impactful? So, a lot of people have changed the way that they're dealing with things. You may be dealing with other people, and so in a different way. Are you still communicating with your clients or with the world in a way that's true to who you are now? And if you're not, then got to work that out. The other thing that I would say is, are the things that you're communicating, or the way that you're doing things, do they still follow your values? So my value system shifts all the time, and so it shifts with different major things that go on with my life. My son's milestones are a big part of what's more important to me. He needed me more when he was smaller and less now that he's older. I want him to be independent, blah blah blah, all those important things about being a parent. And so my values and what I value during different phases of my life, and also in different phases of my business, now that I have a staff or I have employees, things that I valued in my business before, they have shifted. And so I have to make sure that everything around me and everything inside my business has shifted with the values. Because if they're not aligned, you'll find that things just don't work. You're like, I don't know why this doesn't work, or I don't know why this client is the wrong client. It was good money. It's because your values are not aligned. And so that's really important for you to make sure that you kind of revisit that. Is this does this feel right? And so that's another question. Then the last thing I would say is just look at your stuff. Like, is my stuff still relevant? Is it still good? Has it been updated? Is all the information correct? Like, are your social media platforms, is all the information on there correct? Do you have your right phone numbers and websites and things like that? Is your logo updated, or does it fit nicely in the little thing? Do your, whatever. Just is it factual? Is it correct? The website, have you updated your products and services? Have you updated your contact information? Is everything in there correct? If you have a Google My Business page or a Yelp page or anything that's external, like, just make sure all that stuff makes sense. Update your link tree to all the most current links. And so it would be important to go ahead and assess that and figure out if you're doing the right thing. The last thing I would say is, you may ask, how often? How often should I do this? Great question. Great question. Got a great answer for you. It depends. Not that great? Okay. Well, here's the thing. It really does depend how often your business changes, or how many new inputs that you have, or different segments of the business. So for example, for my accounting, I will do an assessment every week of my spending. And because I use a system like a bookkeeping system or accounting system, which I highly recommend, I have to make sure that I'm categorizing each of my expenses and also the revenue that I bring in into the right bucket, so that when it's tax time or when I need to evaluate where my spending is, or I need to try to do new budgeting, that I'm making sure that all of the things that are on my bank statement are falling into the correct bucket. So I do that weekly, because if I wait any longer, I'll die. I used to wait till tax time and be in tears. So now I just look at it every week. And then every month, at the end of the month, I balance. So I go back through and I audit it, or not audit it, but I guess I just reevaluate line by line to make sure that everything's right, that I'm not missing anything, that I didn't miscalculate, or I need to add explanations, upload receipts, add it to a project, or whatever the case may be. I just make sure it's all nice and tidy, so that month by month, my records and my books are clean. And then at the end of the year, tax time, I'm like, boom, here's my profit and loss. This is progress, y'all, because I'm telling you, I used to be like, tax time, like, where are these receipts? And the pain got too great that I was like, I'm going to find the discipline to do this way more often. Now, something like marketing, like, we do a new marketing strategy every quarter. So some people like to do it monthly. At one point, I used to like monthly themes, but for us, because our client roster is picking up, we just change our marketing concept every quarter. And so just depending on the life cycle of your business or what area business is, like, you have to pick the frequency that makes sense for you, but you should pick the frequency, and you should calendar it, and you should put it in your little planner like it's a date, and you should make it happen. And like, just honor those dates and those deadlines, because ultimately it's really going to help you. So the last thing I'll talk about is, what does CSD marketing do in this process? Glad you asked. We do what are called audits. And what is an audit? It's really the same thing that I just talked about: assessments, reviews, what's another word we could come up with? I don't know. That's enough. Anyway, it's just evaluating things, but it's a third party. So a third party is going to come in from their area of expertise, and also not emotionally attached to anything that you're doing within the business or the brand, and really gives you some good insight as to how to improve systems, how to keep doing things that are great, and they're just all recommendations. So we as a business will do audits whenever a new client comes in, because we need to know what we're working with. What was the first thing I talked about? Where are you in comparison to where you want to be? And so we need to know that too before we come in and we take an account, especially if it's like a full brand management, when we're just taking over that business's marketing. So the things that we'll look at from a marketing perspective, we'll look at social media, we'll look at the website, we'll look at their listings as far as like Google, we look at the email communications and what that looks like, we look at their analytics and all of their back end things. We will also look at the marketing mix. How are they currently marketing? Product mix, any sales tactics characteristics, the client profile, has your client demographic changed? And then we kind of roll all of that out. And from that, we create a marketing strategy or a business development strategy, product launch strategy, whatever it is. We build a strategy based on the information that we got from the audit. And then we also do like an external audit where we'll look at the trends and things going on in that industry, so that come together we have this big, beautiful, and gorgeous strategy for our clients. So but with an audit, with even without the full brand management, it's so helpful to have an assessment of everything that's going on and a little bit of interpretation. And so that's what we provide to our clients. So I know that people have asked me on Under the Crown, like, you just kind of talk about what you do in your business, but you don't talk about what you do in your business. So I wanted to go ahead and provide a little bit of insight with that. So shameless plug, if you are ever interested in any of our audits, social media audits are really, really popular. We go through all the analytics and give some recommendations on how to refresh the grid and all that cool stuff. Web optimization, which is looking at the technical side of the website, like how to make the website faster, what SEO you can do, things that are not necessarily just the look and feel of it, but the stuff that makes the engine run underneath. We have all these different types of audits that we can support you with. So if you're interested, go to the website, fill out a contact form, get a little meeting. We can talk about your goals and get that together. But in the meantime, in between time, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you will join me again next week. I don't know what I'll be talking about, but I'll figure it out by then. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'll talk to you later.